Helen joins us now to speak more about these. Well, perhaps it's the unique touch that Nigeria has for everything. That's why we're celebrating this particular observance 3 months after. But of interest is the talk on the need to curb migration among Nigerian youths, identifying poverty as a key issue. The president was in the UN General Assembly recently, and he talked about the plans of the federal government. What approach are they bringing from the civil service sector?
They actually feel year in, year out, different governments keep coming and going without having one particular program for poverty eradication. There is nothing like continuity of such programs. They all come with different programs to ensure that they eradicate poverty. But as soon as those governments leave, the policies just go and the programs just go. So this, at this conference, they were actually calling for continuity of those programs, and the civil servants should be carried along so that even when the government are no more there, another government comes in, the programs and policies will continue. And that's the way you keep getting to the people who really need these programs for their survival and to eradicate poverty in the country. They also talk about growing the private sector. Today, most people believe that products that are from Nigeria, that are made in Nigeria, are not of standard, they are not good. They'll rather pay heavily to buy products outside the country. But for you to ensure that poverty is eradicated, they must grow the private sector, patronize made in Nigerian products. That's the way you can keep people in business and ensure that poverty is eradicated. Corruption and mismanagement is another point they want the government to really tackle. It is believed that the wealth that is made for the whole country is amassed by one person. So for this to be curbed, corruption has to be tamed by the government. They need the government to work hard to ensure that corruption and mismanagement is tackled.
What role do we see the public service play in all of this? Because to an extent, they also will have to implement some of these policies.
The civil servants actually have a role to play in helping the government to translate their policies into services for the benefit of the people. These civil servants are the ones that work with the service. Even when the government leaves, they continue, they stay there. They have to be carried along in all those policies. And then the civil servants have to be educated to know that their roles in governance is beyond carrying of files from one office to the other. They have to ensure that the government policies are well carried out and implemented successfully.
Helen Osamede-Akins live for us in Abuja, telling us about the Nigerian celebration of observance of the African Public Service Day 3 months after. Thank you for talking to us this evening.